love. No, think about it. The only time a mermaid sees bubbles that big, darling, is when someone's just an enormous, really smelly... Oh, hi, humaids. Hi. Welcome to the Mervlog, episode 10. Can you believe? It's been 12 days since I had a tail. 12 days since I walked out of the land and into the arms of my one true love. 10 days since he said, you talk a lot more than I was expecting. You should do a vlog showing everyone what it's like for a mermaid getting used to life on land. Eric, what are the odds that the first person I meet would be so good looking and so clever? It's going so well. There's a lot of new people here. So if you're new, guys, we just need to show you like the little introduction that we do when we start the Mervlog, okay? So it goes like this, right? It's just like a little call and response thing. So I come on and I say, hi, humaids. And then I say, good to see you. And do this little move. And then you have to say it back, okay? So, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, you're doing the action. Way from afar. And then you say, way from afar. Yeah, you get it. It's a pun. We don't have puns in the ocean, like the sea, because like you see someone, but also it's called the sea. So there's a little bit more, but we'll do it. You'll get it. You'll get it. Okay, you ready? Hi, humaids. Good to see you. Good to see you. Way from afar. Can't hear you. Afar. We'll have a whale of a time. A whale of a time. At home or in the car. Diomyocytes. Puns. Now, guys, if you want to talk to me or argue with me, sound travels for thousands of miles in the ocean. So I'm assuming it's the same on land. Like yesterday, someone got a bit funny with me and was like, Ariel, cardiomyocytes, that pun doesn't work. Like it's not a commonly used word. And I was like, oh yes it is. So if anyone's got a problem with that, it's going to take a while, obviously, for your sound waves to reach me, because you're quite far. Oh, yes, it is. Cardiomyocytes is a really commonly used word. Oh, yes, it is. Guys, come on. Cardiomyocytes, like heart cells, you know, like the zebrafish can like rejuvenate its heart cells. It's got a self-healing heart. Come on. Cardiomyocytes is a really commonly used word. Oh, yes, it is. You've never used the expression, oh, I'm feeling as refreshed as a zebrafish's cardiomyocytes. It doesn't matter. I'm not arguing with you, okay? On my 10th anniversary. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye. Hi, humaids. Good to see you. Way from afar. We'll have a whale of a time. Whether we're at home or in the cardiomyocytes. I gave you some wrong information yesterday, okay? So Eric says that I've been asking too many questions about the difference between the land and the sea, and it's getting boring and he can't be expected to talk about it, so he bought me this book. I mean, what are the odds that the first person I meet would be that good looking and that clever and that generous? I mean, so yeah, I thought, because sound travels for thousands of miles in the ocean, that it would be the same on land, but actually it's not. Oh my goodness, look, the book came with this flyer inside. Apparently this huge space agency are doing auditions near here, and it's like in a few days' time. Oh, I would love to go into space. It's like my final frontier. It's the one place I've never been, right? But I don't know, I mean, I can't, can I? I can't leave the first person I've ever met, my one true love. I don't know. I'll put it there. Okay, yeah, so this book, okay, it's all about physics, all about exploring the world. It turns out everything in the whole world, kind of like a massive Lego model, is made out of these little tiny, like, balls, atoms, we'll call them particles. Everything. Leaves, cats, trains, clouds, everything. And sound travels when these particles vibrate, okay? So if you put your hand on your throat and you make a sound, any sound, like, you can feel that your throat is vibrating, okay? and your throat vibrates, and it makes the air particles around you vibrate, and those air particles vibrate and bounce into each other, bounce into each other, bounce into each other, bounce into each other, kind of like ripples on a pond spreading out, and eventually those vibrations get to your ear and you can hear. But it turns out that the particles in air, this book's great, I'll send you a link, the particles in the air are really far apart, so it takes quite a long time for one air particle to bump into another air particle and bump into another one and spread the sound along. And also, because they're far apart, the energy, like, it spreads out really fast and gets wasted easily. So you actually can't hear people from that far away on land. I don't know, I'm still learning. Because the particles in the sea are really close together. It's like a ball pool, like they're all touching each other. So in the ocean, if you make a noise, the particles just go boosh, 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 like dominoes, bam, the sound gets to you really fast. And there's not as much wasted energy. And do not get me started on solids. Oh my goodness. So Angel wrote to me and asked me if I'd worked out what dingle hoppers were for. Yeah, I have. There's an activity in this book that shows you what they're for. You can do it too. If you haven't got a dingle hopper, you can use a spoon. But you get a piece of string, wool, cotton, anything, and you just tie it around a dingle hopper or a spoon. And what you do is, right, just bash it onto something solid. I've got a table. Sounds quite nice, right? Sounds quite nice. Oh, Brock, age 9, is saying that I should go to the audition. Oh, Brock, I couldn't leave Eric. I've been telling you what a beautiful, kind, generous guy he is. I can't possibly go to it. Yeah, so that sounds nice, right? But now, put the bit of string into your ear and hit it against the hard thing again. Don't do it too hard, because you might even hurt yourself. You ready? Oh, it's like it's like a secret concert in your ear, because the string is a solid and the particles in the string are really close together and like sort of in a fixed place. So the sound just goes bam, 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 bam. So sound travels like 4.5 times faster in seawater than it does in the air, and it travels even faster through a solid. And also the sound waves aren't really spreading out, the sound's just being concentrated, the vibrations are going boosh from the fork right to your ear. So beautiful. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. He's just such a great guy. I'm sure we'll be doing more physics later. I'm really into physics. I've always been interested in, you know, like anatomy and biophysics and yeah. So yeah. Thank you for your question, Angel. That's what dingle hoppers are for. You guys are always sending me questions, so I think next episode we'll do a Q&A. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, Humates. Good to see you. Way from afar. We'll have a whale of a time. It's my favourite, like the whale's tail. At home or in the cardiomyocyte. So, questions. I picked out 10 because you have so many questions, right? They're all good ones. Abby says, are mermaids like fish, or are they like whales and dolphins? Like, are they mammals? Abby, great question. We're not fish or mammals, but we do have stuff in common with both. So obviously you guys are mammals. The mammal that mermaids have the most in common with is these things. The sea cow, obviously we just call them cows. The manatee. Now, you guys used to always confuse us with these. Like in the 1400s, seriously, Christopher Columbus, someone on his ship, saw some manatee and then said later, saw 3 mermaids today. More masculine than I was expecting. More masculine. Excuse me. But anyway, we do have some stuff in common with manatees and other mammals. Like we give milk to our babies. Obviously, we have hair. Oh, manatee hair. Oh my goodness me. Manatee hair is amazing. So manatee hair, look at the hair on your arm, okay? The hairs, each hair on your arm is connected to about 5 cells that send information to your brain, like my arm is cold or wet or whatever. Manatees, their hairs are connected to like 50 different cells. So their hairs send incredible amounts of information. Seriously, scientists say that it's like they've got a 6th sense, and each hair of a manatee is really spread out, so it doesn't touch any of the other hairs. And when the manatee is swimming through like cloudy water, the hair not only brushes against and detects the plants that the manatee might want to eat, but it also grabs onto them. The hairs actually grab onto the plants. Now, it is a very, they'd kill me if I told you this. It's a very little known fact about mermaids that at a certain age, we actually get the same kind of hair, only here. We call it a mana beard because it's just like manatee hair. It's such a big moment in a mermaid's life. I was just getting my mana beard in when I came out of the sea. Eric said that it was like really gross and weird and that I should shave it off. So yeah, just look like you guys now. But anyway, good question. Right, second question. Grace and Hattie say, do mermaids wee out of their belly buttons? Grace and Hattie? No, we don't wee out of our belly buttons. That would be disgusting. We wee out of our mouths. You know, like the Chinese soft-shell turtle. Question 3. Izzy wants to know how we breathe underwater. Oh yeah, so that's what Abby was getting at as well, like fish or whales. Like, do we breathe on land? Yeah. Very good question, Izzy. So actually the Chinese soft-shell turtle, it can wee out of its mouth because it's got these little sort of finger-like protrusions in its mouth, and they've got big surface area, and when water goes into their mouth, the fingers absorb oxygen from the water and then they release CO2. So those turtles and like frogs as well, a lot of creatures that live on land and in the sea, they've got lungs, which they need to breathe when they're on land, but they've also got these little, I'll call them mouth fingers, I don't know what they are, which they use to like be able to go undersea for a lot longer, under the water for a lot longer. So mermaids are like that, but we have very, very well developed mouth fingers. So we can stay under for a really long time. I sometimes look back on that scene in the boat where Eric and I are like, gonna, you know, kiss the girl and I can't talk, and I'm sort of thinking, oh, maybe someone should tell him about the mouth fingers and the weeing. Anyway, question 4. Oh, Isaac's dad Kevin says, why are mermaids called mermaids? Well, Kevin, I grew up under the sea, and even I know how to Google things. Just look it up. It's a science show. Just sort yourself out. Mer, isn't it? Like French sea. Question 5. Sewardwin says, how do mermaids go to the toilet? Excellent question. So obviously we wee out of our mouths. We don't poo out of our mouths. That would be gross. No, we poo in the same way that a creature called the warty comb jelly poos. So this is absolutely true, guys. All of this I'm telling you is true. Scientists studied this little creature called the warty comb jelly for ages. It totally mystified them because they couldn't understand how it pooed. Like, there was no hole. I'm serious. The warty comb jelly, it didn't have a hole anywhere. And eventually, one scientist looked really carefully and realised that warty comb jellies have little tubes inside them, you know, just like us, where the food goes, spreads nutrients around the body. But the wall of the warty comb jelly's tube is really, really thin. And their skin is really thin as well, and they're quite close to each other. And what happens is the poo, the waste food, builds up and up and up and up in the tube, and this pushes the wall of the tube against the skin, and then kind of like putting two pieces of paper together and bursting a hole through. Eventually, the wall of the tube and the skin fuse together and create a pore, a transient pore, and then the poo comes out. But then straight away after the poo's come out, the pore just closes up again. If you Google warty comb jelly, Google will very quickly decide what you want to know and tell you. So yeah, and mermaids are exactly the same. Mermaids, the hole where our poo comes out, it just like appears and disappears when the conditions are right. You know, like a rainbow. Good question, Sodrin. Izzy and Charlotte have got questions about fish. So Charlotte wants to know what my favourite fish is. Charlotte, very good question. I love them all. I love all fish. I couldn't choose. Izzy wants to know if we eat fish. No, we don't. Because fish, there's too much fishing going on, too many fish leaving the sea, and we can obviously see that really clearly because we live in the sea. So no, we don't fish because we feel bad about it. But it doesn't mean we don't love the taste of fish. One of the best things about being on land, oh my days, is prawn cocktail flavour. Prawn cocktail flavour, anything. Humates, how did you do it? You created something that tastes like fish, but it's vegetarian. Well done. What else is good about living on land? Not being able to see people's farts bubble out of their bottoms. And Disney films. Oh, I've got so much catching up to do. I am watching all my Disney films. Right, another question. Oh, yeah, Angel says, do you hear better underwater than on land? Do you hear better underwater than on land? Okay, actually, there's something in my book about this. To answer that question, we better do a little activity, okay? So, like I say, sound is caused by just particles in the air vibrating, bashing into each other, and those vibrations, again, oh, Jade searched water comb jelly. Oh, we lost Jade. Never mind. Come back next episode, Jade, when you got it out of your system. Eventually the vibrations get to your ear and go through your outer ear, through your ear canal, and to something called the eardrum, which also vibrates. But we can totally make one of those, this book told me, okay? All you need to make an eardrum and watch it vibrate is a little bowl, plastic bag, and like a teaspoon of sugar. Yaya's just coming on to tell me that you like salmon and tuna. Yaya, you troll. Don't be talking to me about salmon and tuna. Oh, salmon, so delicious. I ate salmon once, I didn't tell my dad. Okay, so stretch the plastic bag over the bowl so it's really tight, okay? There we go. So that it looks like a drum. Yeah? Ooh. And then get a little teaspoon of sugar and sprinkle it on. It's okay, Lala. Yeah, thanks for apologising. Sprinkle a little bit of sugar on. And then don't be too loud or your breath will knock the sugar off, and that's not what you want to do. But just go to like the side of the drum. Even as I'm speaking, you can probably see it, and just sing some tunes and watch what happens to the sugar. Whoa, did you see that? That is so cool. You just made an eardrum. That's exactly what's happening. Is that your sound waves are vibrating the skin of the drum. Oh, physics, love it. Okay. Amy says, what did it feel like to walk on legs for the first time? Amy, it was awful. So yeah, like particles in solid things like land, wood are really close together. So they're dense, they're hard. I was used to like floaty water. Yeah, it really hurt. Izzy says, are the scales on your tail sensitive to touch? Yeah, like some fish. The scales on my tail were like fingertips, really sensitive. So nothing like these legs. Kim, Hannah and Abby's mum, says, how do you keep your eyes open while swimming? Well, Kim, it's like this. I'm just going to say, adults, don't send any more questions in. And final question. Oh, Amy and Isla and Angel say, does everything taste of salt? No, it doesn't actually. So we've all got taste receptors in our mouth. And like if you eat spicy food, then the taste receptor that detects spicy food sends a signal to your brain going, your mouth is being attacked. But if you eat spicy food regularly, then eventually that taste receptor like closes so that it won't get damaged. And you don't really taste the spicy food anymore. But then if you had a break and you ate spicy food again, then you still taste the spicy food. I guess, I don't know, but I think it must be the same with salt in the ocean. So I couldn't taste salt at all in the ocean. But now I'm out of the ocean, I think my salt receptors must have opened up or something, because yeah, everything tastes great. Oh, I think Tilly, you asked that. What tastes better? Stuff on the land or stuff in the sea? Definitely stuff in the sea. Okay, humates, that's it from me. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna ask Eric if he'll join us. I think it's time that you met him. Okay, I'll see you next episode. Bye. Hi, humates. Good to see you. Away from I broke up with Eric. I just sort of decided that I ended up deciding that maybe he wasn't a very nice person. I mean, I don't understand it. Like, I've watched so many Disney films, and they all show very clearly that if you have a boring face, you're a good guy. And he had such a beautiful, boring face, but he just wasn't cool. He wasn't good for me, and I can see that now. You know what the worst thing is? Is that it was the only thing stopping me from going into space. And now I could go into space, but I can't find the form anywhere. And the audition is tomorrow, but I can't find what I need for it. I need the form, I can't find a phone number, I can't find the address. I'm not going to be able to go into space because I can't find the form. What's that? What? Oh, it feels like you're trying to say something. Oh, if only there were solid or liquid particles between us and not this air. It's so difficult for the sound to get to me. It's what? It's rewind me. Guys, this is live. Even I know how the internet works. What? He maligned you. Good word. He did malign me. He was saying horrible things behind my back. What? It's behind me. Oh, guys, I can go into space. You saved me. Oh, thank goodness. All right, I'll just get... It's not behind me, is it? It's not behind me. I thought you humans were on my side. You're not helping me. Sam, it's not behind me. I just checked. Samantha, it's not behind me. Marlo, it's behind... Oh, the other side, Marlo. I'll try the other side. Like this side. Okay, I'll go this side. Guys, it's not here. It's not here either. It's not here. It's nowhere. You're not helping me. Julia, you're not helping me. Oh, it's here. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, a lot of help you were. Brilliant. Oh, right. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna audition. And I know I can do it. I've done it before, haven't I? I'm very persuasive. I've watched all the Disney films. I've warmed up my singing voice. I'll make my voice as boring as possible. I am gonna wow those space experts, okay? Yeah. Okay. The audition is tomorrow, and obviously I will. I'll let you know how it goes. Hi, humans. So I'm back from the audition. I don't really want to talk about it. Maybe I'll show you how it went. I walked into the audition room and there was Melon Husk himself. I've changed his name to protect his identity. But other than that, everything he told me is absolutely true. He said, 50 years ago, Ariel, humans walked on the moon. Imagine the excitement, Ariel. Imagine the skill it took for us to do that. Imagine the preparation. But right now, Ariel, in your lifetime, humans are preparing for another space adventure. And I have a dream, Ariel. I have a dream that I'm going to make become a reality. Mars. To you, it might seem like a strange and foreign planet, but actually, it's got some things in common with Earth. Yes, Earth is a lot bigger, but most of Earth is water. If you only count the land, then Earth and Mars are about the same size. They spin at about the same speed, so a day on Earth is about the same as a day on Mars. He said that there is less gravity on Mars, but not in a dangerous way. If you were being chased by a very angry sheep, then on Earth you'd have to climb over a hedge. On Mars, you could just jump it. It has less cool differences. So on Earth, we're surrounded by air and clouds, our atmosphere keeping us lovely and warm. Mars's atmosphere 100 times thinner, so it can get 4 times colder than Antarctica. And obviously its atmosphere is almost totally carbon dioxide, so we can't breathe it. So humans can't live on Mars. Yet, every 2 years, close approach happens. Close approach is when Earth and Mars get within about 30 million miles of each other, and it only takes about 6 months to do the journey. And humans have sent stuff from Earth to Mars loads of times. You'd think, wouldn't you, that we would just go down like that? But no, it's much smarter than that. We use something called the Hohmann orbit, which don't forget, of course, that Earth is orbiting anyway, it's going round. So to save fuel, we use that and we send the rocket off in just the right position using fantastic maths, so that as Mars moves, the two objects get to the same place in exactly the same time. The first craft to orbit Mars just whizzed by super, super fast and took as many photos as they possibly could. Click, 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 click. But 50 years ago, the Russians put the first craft in orbit around Mars. It was called Mars 3, and it sent back fantastic amounts of information about the land, the atmosphere, the weather. They also put a lander. It was the first thing humans had made to ever touch the surface of Mars, and it opened up and it gave us information about Mars for 20 seconds and then it died. Oh, so much money and effort, he said, spent on trying to get to Mars, but it's totally worth it. A few years after that, NASA's identical spacecraft, Viking 1 and Viking 2, was the first thing to operate on the surface of Mars for 6 years. And about 30 years ago, NASA sent the first machine to Mars that could move, Sojourner, which was basically just a super cute little kind of tiny microwave type thing. And other rovers followed. One of them scratched the surface of Mars, just like you could scratch a flower bed, and discovered water ice under the surface. So it turns out there are riverbeds on Mars, lakes, there are channels. They're all dry now, of course. But scientists think that as little as 20 million years ago, when crows and elephants were living on planet Earth, there was water flowing on Mars. So we've made fantastic discoveries. We've been exploring, and we're still exploring, the 2 rovers on Mars' surface as we speak. European, American and Indian satellites are orbiting Mars right now, and spacecraft from the United Arab Emirates and China and NASA are literally on their way. They are due to arrive in February. They're all asking, could humans live on Mars? And people are saying, people who know stuff are saying, yeah, we could. There are questions, obviously. How would we breathe? Remember I said the atmosphere on Mars is almost entirely carbon dioxide. Well, carbon dioxide is 2 particles of oxygen connected to 1 particle of carbon. And a scientist has invented a machine that will suck up carbon dioxide and then pump out oxygen. Another scientist, she's invented a fantastic spacesuit which will keep us warm, hold our bodies in because there's not much pressure on Mars, and protect us from radiation. But the long-term science is even more exciting. The poles of Mars, the north and south poles, are made of solid carbon dioxide. We could get basically a massive mirror, direct sun at the poles of Mars, and melt the solid carbon dioxide. And what happens, guys? Come on, you know this. What happens when you get a lot of carbon dioxide gas in an atmosphere? Yeah, you get a greenhouse effect. So if we manage to do that, Mars would have clouds. And if it had clouds, it would warm up. And if it warmed up, then we'd get liquid water flowing on the surface, because all that ice that we found under the surface would melt. And if we got liquid water flowing on the surface, then plants would grow, and eventually we wouldn't even need spacesuits. NASA have said that the first humans will walk on Mars, this is absolutely true, within 10 years, but I say that it can be done faster than that, and that we can get 1 million people on Mars by the year 2100. We are testing spacecraft now. It is real. He said, I've said it before, either humans are going to be a multi-planet species and a space-faring civilization, or we're going to be stuck on one planet until something makes us go extinct. For me, it's got to be the first option. It's just got to be. Ariel, this is my dream. Explain, why do you think that you should get to share my adventure and be one of the first people to go to Mars? And I said, I want to be where there's lots of stars. I want to see them shining, wearing a spacesuit so my lungs don't, what's the word, burn. Where they spacewalk, do they space run? They probably can't, 'cause there's no friction. But even so, I want to go above the world. And there was just this kind of awkward silence. And he said something about like needing more details. I can't remember, guys. To be honest, I sort of panicked at that point, and I think I said something like, la 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 la, you know this face deserves to be in space. You gotta hide it, girl. Wow, wow. La 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 la, don't be shy. I accept there's a small chance I'll die, so you can hide it, girl. But the silence just sort of got more and more awkward, and in the end he was really lovely, and he put a smile on his face and he said, Ariel, are you interested in physics? And I said yes, and he said, you probably should have showed me that, because it doesn't really matter how boring your face is if you want to go into space, it turns out. So I begged him, and he said yes, I can go back to another audition tomorrow. Okay, he said maybe I should plan an activity to like give me a bit of structure. I thought that was a good idea. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm really excited. I'm going to talk to him about air pressure. I'm going to show him this activity, which is going to blow his mind, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, you do it with me. All you need is a glass of water, piece of cardboard, and maybe like a bowl or a big tray or something to hold underneath in case it doesn't work. But this is all that you do, right? Is you put the card on top of the glass of water and you turn it around. Got to push down on it, turn it over super fast, and then if you're lucky, it stays, guys. Okay, so I'm going to explain that tomorrow. Just wish me luck. Ariel from The Little Mermaid. Yeah, all one word. Yes, the activity that I'm going to do is on air pressure, and all you need is a glass of water and a piece of card. Oh no, it's okay. No, I brought them with me. Yeah. I even brought a spare glass because I wanted to show you that I know that you have to be prepared if you're going to go into space. Okay, so you're a humaid. You know that if you swim in a swimming pool and you dive right down, then it feels more and more uncomfortable the lower down you go, because you've got more and more water particles pushing down on you from above. There's a lot of pressure. Now, I didn't feel that pressure under the water when I was living in the sea, because my body had evolved to cope with it. Okay? Sorry. I'm just really nervous. I really need a wee. Oh. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Yeah, so you don't think about it, but you on land are living at the bottom of a sea of air. There's air particles pushing down on you from all different directions, but you've evolved to cope with it. But there's air particles pushing down on you from above and pushing down on you from below, which is why I can do this. Used the wrong, yeah, you saw. See, Cinderella in this situation, Cinderella never poured urine over herself, but when the going got tough, Cinderella started crying. Princess Jasmine stormed off to her bedroom. Simba ran away. But I am a little Astronomermaid, so I am just gonna look you in the eye, Mr. Husk, and say, have you got any questions? No? Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Hi, humans. So you saw the audition tape. Mr. Husk and his team agreed that I definitely didn't know enough physics to be a qualified astronaut. But they're not just looking to send top physicists into space. They also want people who are brave, have a lot of resilience, and I met all those requirements. So, thank you for joining me on this, the last ever Mer vlog. I'm going into space, guys. Can you believe it? Here we are. Now, they did say to have a little read of the manual just before takeoff. So here we go. I mean, there won't be any surprises. I'm sure it was all in the training booklet that they gave us, and we had like an hour-long workshop. Okay, emergency contact details. Tom Hanks. Yep. Oh, guys. I thought I was gonna be living on Mars. It's turns out you just go and then you come back again. Oh, that sucks. Oh, like all manned space flights, capsule will come through the atmosphere and land in the... No, land in the... No, guys, no, land in the sea. Don't make me go back in the sea. I don't want to go in the sea. Guys, stop the rocket. Like, call somebody or something. Guys, haven't even got a phone number. I don't want to land in the sea again. It took me so long to get out of the... Huh? Oh, what? Oh, I can't do this. Huh? What? Oh, it is working. Hi, Humates. Just turn this music off. Hi, what an adventure. Whoa, it's been a year. I went all the way to Mars, orbited it, and then came all the way back again. Do you know, I was feeling so depressed and lonely in that ocean. I think I would have just stayed there, but as I was bobbing along in the capsule, I bumped into somebody. You ever seen Moana? We've got loads in common. She also has very complicated relationship with the sea. She thinks it's a person. That's fine. I don't judge her. She doesn't judge me. She even thinks it's cool that I have a beard that can hold on to things. So I've started growing that back now. Yeah. And yeah, we're living together. I'm feeling really settled, actually. There's one thing I've learned from living in the ocean and then journeying into space is that it doesn't really matter if you live in a gas or a liquid or even a solid. What's important is that you accept where you are right now, and you accept who you are right now, and that you meet people who will do the set. Oh, sorry, just a minute. Yeah, I'm coming. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah, I've got them. Oh, we're going to have a film night without prawn cocktail crisps. No. Aquaman last week. You said this week, definitely Toy Story 4. Yeah, maybe I do love Bo Peep, and I'm not embarrassed to say that. Look, sorry, Humates, I gotta go. Thank you so much for joining me.